A happy New Year to you, Scorpio. It's great to have your company again. I'm just hoping, for everyone's sake, this next coming 12 months is much more fortuitous for us. It's been a hell of a time. I know from personal experience what a hell of a time it's been. And a lot of you know that I'm a Scorpio. I'm going to animate this chart so you can see here that this year the trend is set by what happens in January. I am going to give you a full 1 year synopsis. I'll tell you about that later. But on the 3rd of January, notice down here in this third house of your horoscope, which has to do with your communication, your thinking, a new moon. This is where you're going to turn over a new leaf, which is where your main resolutions are, or should be, in terms of the coming 12 months at least. And some of you have probably heard me say many, many times that communication, which is governed by this second house, and to a large extent this third house, because that's the reasoning and the thinking before you speak your words, is 94% anyhow, non-verbal. Words are only a very small part of the communication that we engage in. And so this year, I think, and this month especially, there's a lot to say about the way you think and the way you communicate. Notice here also the retrograde Venus, which has to do with your marital affairs. That shows that you have to somehow get that side of your life in order, and that is going to be the main domain, I think, of where these communication changes, these thinking process changes are going to occur in your life to give you maximum bang for your buck. You notice also here, if you keep your eye out on Mercury, which is also the planet of communication, it will go retrograde after having moved into this fourth house, which is your domestic sphere. I've been saying for some time, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, that with Saturn down here in this fourth house, your domestic sphere and your inner self haven't been feeling all too comfortable about your relationships. And that's also because Saturn does, in a sense, create a square to this seventh house of relationships. You notice here the sudden and abrupt action of Uranus is responsible for some of the dramatic changes that have taken place in the relationships of many born under Scorpio. There it is. We are dynamic, we are mysterious, and we are determined, hopefully in the correct way and in the correct areas. Because you don't want to be spreading your energy too thinly and directing it into the wrong sort of areas, the wrong sorts of relationships. You'll notice also that these relationship insights, it's almost like an epiphany, because you'll see here the movement of these nodes away from a lot of the financial stuff that you've been going through for the last 18 months or so, will shift into the seventh house, first house. So there it is there on the 19th of January. That's a big one, Scorpio. That's going to dramatically change your attitude. And whatever is meant to happen in your relationships will start to take place in a big way around the shift of that nodal axis. Now, that can mean resolving problems. It can mean, for some of you, desiring more out of the current relationship that you have. In any case, you are going to see your just desserts. Because that's what the karma is about, right? What goes around comes around. So brace yourself for that one and be prepared. And that's why it's so important to get this fourth house right. Fortunately, and I think I've also mentioned this before, you have this influence of Jupiter here in the fifth house. That has a wonderful tonic effect on the sun sign, because it has a triangular influence there, and also to your ninth house of spirituality. Mars moves into your third house. You've got to be a little bit careful. That is also going to influence your seventh house. And you notice here there's a growing conjunction here. When this is within about 8 degrees, there could be some disputes. There can be legal issues in the marital area. For those of you that are coming out of a relationship, you need to button it, because Mars is coming out of this second house of intense speech. I also missed this full moon, which takes place on the 18th, which is going to take place here in your 9th house. Again, that's an apt point to mention regarding your legal matters and your higher mind. You see, the higher mind is activated, though there's nothing here. It's activated by these 5 planets, especially right at the tail end of the month on the 30th and the 31st. So, a new vista, new horizon in your mental landscape, Scorpio. Important to take a few deep breaths. The relationship area, I think, is going to be just a huge one for you, with this 4th house requiring a lot more responsibility on your part. For those of you that have been having some difficulty with your children, this may open that up. Jupiter's benign influence will bring back that camaraderie and that friendship and that feel-good sort of atmosphere that may have been lacking for some time. Now, I have, and you'll be happy to hear it, done a full 1-year synopsis for you. There's over 3,000 words there for you at my site, astrology.com.au. If you get on over there, you can have a look at that and then read the chronological monthly aspects along with what I've said here this month, so you can get a really good idea of what's happening in the coming 12 months. Better still, drop me a line after you subscribe if you haven't already, and we can organise a personal reading for you. And that's my favourite part of it. That really is what I love doing, getting in and identifying the unique flavour of each horoscope, and especially at the beginning of the year, looking at where it's taking you, where your karma individually is going to take you. Look forward to hearing from you, and also look forward to seeing you next month. Take care now. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.